When I, 28 female, was 19, I got pregnant from a one-night stand. The father, Aidan, wanted to be around and was supportive from the start. We never got together, but we became very close friends. Unfortunately, when I was 8 months pregnant, Aidan died in a car accident. It devastated me as well as his family. To this day, it haunts me that he could never meet our son, Brady. Aidan's family has been heavily involved in Brady's life since the beginning. Birthday parties, celebrations, etc. They always made me feel welcome. I started dating again when Brady was a toddler, and Aidan's parents, Michelle and Dan, encouraged me too. They said I deserved to be happy. They even watched Brady occasionally so I could go on dates. Brady has always been told about his dad. When Brady was a preschooler, I met Justin, now 31. It took 6 months for him to meet Brady, and they bonded quickly from the start. A couple of months later, Justin met Aidan's family. They loved him. I was always clear with Justin that their family would always be in our lives, especially for Brady's benefit. He agreed it was the best. I married Justin 2 years later. Brady began calling him Papa on his own. He still talked about Aidan and called him Daddy. I kept all the pictures of Aidan up. Brady proudly said he had 2 dads. Michelle and Dan seemed fine. A year later, Justin brought up adopting Brady and I agreed. That's when Dan and Michelle began to show their displeasure. I explained that we'd never stop Brady from seeing them. We'd always talk about Aidan, show pictures, etc. We also planned on hyphenating their last name with Justin's. Dan and Michelle argued with me. I tried to keep things calm for Brady's sake, but then Michelle and Dan tried to stop the adoption. They took Justin to court. They said he'd be an unfit father despite him having a job and a loving relationship with Brady. They also said that Justin was just after Brady's trust fund. For some context, Aidan was killed in an intoxicated driving accident. I took the driver to court and sued them for the damages of my having to be a single parent due to their negligence. All the money was put into a trust for Brady that he can't touch until he's 25. The overseer is also Aidan's sister, so it's not like she'd ever agree to sign it over to Justin. Justin has never shown interest and has money of his own. The judge threw it out for those reasons. They called Justin a variety of names in court and tried to demean his character, calling him a child stealer, etc. This came after years of claiming they loved him and thought he was perfect for me, which Aidan's sister testified in court. They later admitted to me that they made all this up to try to stop the adoption and they never believed it. They lost the case and the adoption went through, but because of their contesting, it took longer and only went through last year. It also added extra court fees. Dan and Michelle have since accepted things, though I won't leave them alone with Brady in case they try to trash Justin again. Justin is cordial with them, coming around for Brady, but he keeps a wall up. He's not overly friendly like he once was. He'll smile and hype them up for Brady, but that's it. He says he's upset with what they put all of us through, especially the emotional toll it put on me. Dan and Michelle came by to see Brady. Justin was once again polite but didn't say much. A few days later, Michelle told me she was hurt that Justin stopped making an effort. I told her she couldn't expect him to be the same after all they did and said in court. She said they apologized and he accepted it. I said yes, but actions have consequences and they need to accept it. Dan told me I was insensitive to not take Michelle's side after all they've done. Their daughter, Brady's aunt, tells me Justin and I are in the right. I don't know what to think and feel stretched between everyone. Am I the idiot for telling my former mother-in-law that she can't expect to have the same relationship with my husband as she used to? I never threatened to cut contact, so I truly believe they changed their mind. They say they see now that while Aidan will always be his dad, he deserves to have someone living to act as his father. They also understand that it's what Brady wants, to have the same last name as me, his papa and his sisters. I believe they've truly changed. They just don't realize the true impact of what going to court has done to us. Oh my goodness, I can't believe they're demanding more from Justin. They are lucky you all didn't slam the door on that relationship altogether. I think I would have said, "Are you joking?" Because this is so unbelievable. The trust is gone and will likely never return. You are not the idiot. Sometimes burned bridges remain burned. Agreed, you don't get to put people through the ringer in the court system for 1+ years and then return to how it was. That's not how life works. They are on Find Out Street. It's 1 block after Screw Around Boulevard. Sorry, but they did it once. That is a bell that cannot be unrung. The relationship is forever changed. Who's to say they won't agree with you two on something else and go lie to CPS? They lied in court as a strategy to win. Nothing is low enough for them. Their daughter is distanced from them over this. They remove trust and think an apology magically brings it back. LOL, nope. I, 27 female, am in a bit of a dilemma. I've been seeing this guy for a couple of months and we decided to go to a nice high-end restaurant for a date. Initially, I was going to wear a nice dark blue dress that I like to wear out, but he asked me to wear a different white dress that I'd shown him once as it matched his outfit. I've never had a guy ask me this. The white dress in question was a gift from my late grandmother. It was quite expensive, so I was reluctant but agreed, and just asked that we didn't go anywhere after where I might spill something on it or otherwise mess it up. He mentioned clubbing after dinner, which is why I said that I didn't want to risk messing the dress up. He said we could just go to dinner and I could change out of it before doing anything else. Great. However, the evening took a turn for the worse when he accidentally spilt his red wine all over my dress. He'd gotten an unexpected call, and when he tried to mute his ringer quickly, his elbow hit his glass, and it spilled all over the lap area of my dress before I could react. It was completely drenched and stained. He was apologetic at the time and I tried to be cool about it. Still, inside I was devastated, especially since I'd explicitly mentioned how I wanted to be careful wearing it. Later, I mentioned to him that the dress was costly and asked if he were willing to help clean or replace it. Getting it professionally cleaned and removing the stain would cost $100, which I asked him to pay half of. To my surprise, he got quite defensive. He argued that it was an accident, that I was being unreasonable for expecting him to pay for something like that, and that it was my fault for wearing it out, knowing that it could have happened. It's a matter of principle. Yes, it was an accident, but the dress was ruined, and it was extremely sentimental to me, not to mention a valuable dress. He thinks I'm being materialistic and making a big deal out of nothing. Now I'm not sure how to feel about his reaction. Am I the idiot for expecting him to cover the cost? Not the idiot, you shouldn't have needed to ask. He should have offered to cover all the cleaning costs. Yes, it was an accident, but that doesn't absolve him of responsibility. The fact that he won't even cover half shows what kind of person he is, and how he's shifting the blame to you like he never suggested you wear it is gaslighting. It sucks that this relationship cost you your beautiful dress, but it's much less than your lifetime. This man is not a keeper. It's time to move on. I hope the cleaners can restore your dress to its original condition. Agree. Drop the guy and pay for the dress yourself and be happy. This failed relationship only costs you $100. I don't understand the mindset that because you accidentally did something, you're entirely off the hook for the consequences. Also, crappy of him to blame you for wearing it out when he specifically asks you to. Does he think this defense would work if he accidentally wrecked his car into someone? Or accidentally screwed up something at work? His actions have consequences. Jeez. The real issue here, though, this guy won't even pay $50 for you. If I really fancy a girl, I'll meet in the middle for stuff like that at the very least. I wouldn't risk losing a good relationship over so little money. Lose that, loser. I, 19 female, look just like my late maternal grandmother. She died when my mom was only a child. But she died, leaving her husband and oldest daughter deeply traumatized by her behavior and her death. Her younger daughter, my aunt, was too young to remember her or anything about the life she gave her family. My grandmother did many things that impacted the family, especially my mom. To add to everything else, my mom is the one who found her mother when she was just 8 years old, so she's always carried that around with her. I only found out I looked just like her mother when I was 6, and my aunt told me I was just like her mommy. She was showing me all these photos she had, and the childhood ones really showed the resemblance. She made a big point of telling me every single similarity we had. My mother never made me feel unloved or like something was wrong with me. The only reason I knew something was up was that she wasn't able to hide the sadness in her eyes when she looked at me. I also did some snooping when I was little and heard her tell my dad about the struggle she had some days to see her mom's face in me. My aunt decided to use me to hurt Mom. When I was 12, she brought me to get my hair dyed behind my mom's back and pushed me to go blonde when I wanted pink hair. It turned out my mom knew their mother as a blonde. I realized that when I saw Mom's eyes after seeing me with blonde hair. That was the point where I realized what my aunt was doing. There was other stuff before then, like she'd buy me clothes similar to what their mother would have worn. My aunt had a bunch of photos of her mother, so she knew the stuff she liked to wear. She gave me a nickname as a little girl and got me so into it, I tried to use it with everyone. It was a nickname my grandmother was given by some people in her life. My mom really hated that name too. I heard her tell Dad later that night. My mom adored my aunt and thought they were super close, So when I realised what my aunt was doing, I told her I was onto her and wouldn't be trusting her anymore. She did attempt to do some more screwed up stuff, but eventually I told my dad and he told my aunt to leave me the heck alone. We didn't see her for years during the global issue or after, but then Grandpa's birthday happened just before New Year's, and she approached me and tried to manipulate me into doing the same stuff, changing my hair and how I dress, etc. I told her I knew what she was doing and she laughed at the idea of it being to hurt Mom. So I lost my temper and ensured everyone heard what she'd done when I was a kid and that she was trying to do it again. My dad and some other people there forced my aunt to leave, but not before she told me I was such a witch for spoiling the party and publicly humiliating her. Am I the idiot? Not the idiot. You got your grandmother's looks, but it seemed your aunt and your meltdown made it easier on your mom or harder. She's probably blaming herself for what you did. You need to remove Aunt from your social media, block her, and even limit any interaction with her family. I, male 24, and my girlfriend Jess, 23, have been dating for about 4 years. We're both in college, and over the past 6 months we've been doing long distance due to my participation in an exchange program for 2 semesters abroad. Before we started dating, we were both seniors in high school, and I had a good friend Mike who was also interested in her. She was also into him, and they had a small thing going, the extent of which I never really knew and wasn't interested in. This isn't an issue. Mike is still very good friends with Jess and me. Recently, another mutual friend threw a party for New Year's, which both Mike and Jess attended. When chatting to Jess over FaceTime the day after, she told me in passing, as part of a different story, that she was sitting side she was previously involved with. I'm usually very trusting of her and never had any doubts about what she was doing alone, but now I'm having doubts. I would never tell her not to go somewhere. Obviously, it's not my place to control what she does. So, was I an idiot for getting mad at her, and should I still expect an apology from her? You are the idiot. This is not behaviour that should cause you to shout or yell at someone. I think you may not be as okay with their previous thing as you might tell yourself, and it's probably best to get that out in the open before it causes any issues. If they're still close friends, this will only happen again. I wouldn't be expecting an apology from her. LOL, calling someone an idiot for being uncomfortable with their partner putting their legs on another man's thigh is crazy. Maybe she should have dated him then. And you lot wonder why you get cheated on. LOL. Not the idiot. Why would anyone think that this is okay? No matter how much I'm a friend with a guy, placing my feet on him would be weird. I'm sure if a girl were writing this story and saying her boyfriend's ex put her legs on him and reacted that way, the verdict would be not the idiot and dump him. This has been an ongoing issue. I have a friend group that likes to eat nicer food. Personally, I'm fine with getting something cheap on the menu. The issue is they always want to split the check. I've had the conversation so often that I want to pay for what I ordered. It results in an argument where I must bend or everyone is mad at me. I also make a lot more than my friends, so they always call me cheap. They don't get it. I want to pay for my meal and that's it. We went out to eat yesterday and they all ordered things that were around $30. I got the house salad and my total was around $12. They told the server to split the bill and I didn't want to fight about it again. I asked the server to add an entree and dessert to the bill for me to take home. This resulted in my bill going up into the 30s. So they asked me what I was doing. I told them I was getting more food and they got upset when I increased the price they needed to pay. This resulted in another argument and they think I'm a jerk. Not the idiot. No matter how much you make, you made it clear. Get a separate bill as soon as you enter. Let them be upset. Ask them what they're upset about. They're not paying for your food. They know your viewpoint and it's not going to change. At some point, find new friends because they're not respecting you. Your friends are using you to have a nicer meal than they can afford. It sounds like the check splitting has been going on for a while, so OP knew it would happen when they decided to go out to eat with this friend group again. Although I don't think OP is wrong for wanting to pay for only the food they ordered, you don't order a house salad and then food to go if you know your friends are going to tell the server to split the bill again, and you didn't want to fight about it again. You are the idiot, dude. If you don't want to follow what appears to be the group rules, don't go out to eat with them. It doesn't appear to be a question of not being able to afford it, so it seems you're a right fighter. It's not fair, so you're not going to do it. Stay home and eat takeout by yourself.